Good morning, everybody. Patty Ann here. Hang on just a second. Today I'm going to show you how to make a monogram. I made one for my little grandson's bag that I bought. This was a bag that was on the clearance area at a website called threadart.com, and it's a little lunch bag with the stuff inside that helps keep things cold. I didn't have very many colors of the flock, so I just used the red and the yellow. It turned out okay. This is my granddaughter's, Layla's, and I'm going to make a monogram on hers. I decided to just go with the monograms rather than their names because they're little kids, and if they're at the playground and people read their names, they may call them over, and they're twins, so if my daughter's busy with one, we don't want somebody calling the kids over to the other side or something. So I did do something with this one when I was doing Levi's, because I wasn't exactly sure what size to make it. So I did print it out first and kind of check and see was that a good size for it. And it was. So now I'll know kind of what size to make Layla's. So if you follow me up here to Design Space, I'll show you some things that I've been working on. I think this one's super cute. I love the color. And I was able to iron on here with my EasyPress, and it didn't affect the fabric whatsoever or this lining inside. So again, follow me up to Cricut Design Space. And here we are. These are just some samples that I was looking at. Oh, by the way, my patrons, thank you very much for joining me on the last installment of our video. And those of you who are at the dollar level, I'll be having another challenge for you coming up soon. Yours is the second Friday of every month. Okay, let's go. All right, so here we are. And these are just some samples of ones that I was looking at. Look at these, they're so cute. You can make any image you find in Design Space into something that's monogrammed if you'd like. And I'm going to show you how to do it. So let's come over to this other instance of Design Space that's blank. And before we do that, let's go up here. And what I did was I went to dafont.com. And what I did here, let's see, let me go back. When you first come to it, over here on the right hand side is a place where you can type in a word to search. And I typed in monogram and said search. And when I scroll down here, the monogram that I chose to download is one called Monogramus by Woodcutter. So I said download it, and it downloaded it down here, and I'll show you again part of it. I don't want to redo it. But when I get to this place right here, I must come down here to extract all. And then I'll go ahead and do it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to extract, and it's going to put it in a file automatically. And then when I'm here, after it's extracted it all, I click on this to open it. And this shows what the font looks like. And then notice up here the word install. So I would just click on that to install the font, and it would be automatically ready to go. The thing is, I've already done that, so I'm not going to redo that part again. If I'm already open in Design Space, when I do that, I need to totally close out of Design Space and reopen it. Otherwise, that new font will not show up. So if you just are open in Cricut Design Space, and you go to text, and you come up here, and you try to type in the monogram font, it's not going to show up. Excuse me, hang on. Unless you close Cricut Design Space first and then reopen it, and then you can type in monogram, and it's actually monogramus, but it will show up, and there it is right here. And so now it's ready to go. So what I did, and my grandson and granddaughter both have the same initials. So what you usually do is you put the first name first, the first letter of their first name first, and then the middle initial in a monogram is your last name. So theirs would be an N, and their middle names both start with A, so that would be that. And I would just click off of that. And I can bring them up here and make them larger so we can see them better. All right, so obviously this is not what I want. So the first thing I need to do is I need to come up here on the right and ungroup. And what that does is it ungroups these three balls, okay? Now, if you'll recall, the one I want on the left-hand side is the first initial of their first name, the first letter. So I want this left-hand L right here. And I want to get rid of these two L's. Well, unfortunately, I can't just contour them out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to Shapes, grab a square, and move these guys out of the way a little bit, and come over here. All right, now I have the shape selected. I'm going to hold down my Shift key and select the L's, and notice on the layers panel there are 2 and only 2 layers selected, which means we can slice. Okay, and once I've sliced them out, I can get rid of this and this and this. Oops. All right, now before I get another square, I can just go ahead and use the other side of this one for this side of that N, because remember on the N, the thing I want is the middle one. So now I can, this box is already selected, hold down my Shift key, click on the ends. How many things are selected in the layers panel? 2, and only 2. That means we can slice. Get rid of this and get rid of one of the ends, but I only want the middle one. So I'm going to have to get another shape, another square, bring it on over, and click and hold both of these. 2 layers are selected, and only 2 I can slice. Delete, delete, and delete. Okay, we have the first 2 letters that we need for the monogram. The only thing I need now is this final A. So again, I'll come over and get a shape, obviously the square, and come over, put it over top of the 2 I don't want, and select everything. 2 layers are selected, and I can hit slice. Okay, get rid of that, and get rid of that, and get rid of that. Okay, so there we have it, and I'm going to try to nicely line them up. And it looks like I've done a pretty good job already, but I'm going to go to Shapes, and I'm going to get a circle, and I'm going to right click on it to send it to the back. And I think I'll make it a prettier color because that's hard to see a little bit. Okay, so I'll move that back. And this lets me see the shape right here and if they're pretty good. And to me, I think they look pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group these, and I'm going to duplicate them. And this one right here that's selected, this group, I'm going to hide it. And now I'm going to take this one and I'm going to duplicate it again. So I have one hidden back in there in case I ever mess up and delete something I shouldn't. So now what I can do is just put this here, and what I can do now is go grab them both and then come up here to align center. And that aligned at center, although to me it looks like it's a little far to the left, something about the A maybe, so I like to move it over myself just a little bit and use my eyeball to center it. Okay, So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight both of these, and okay, look over here. How many things are selected in this layer panel? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, slice is not available. I can remedy that. Let me move this circle out of the way, and let me grab these letters, and if you come over here, I can weld them. And that makes them into one welded layer. Look over here in the layers panel. It gets popped up to the top. It's one welded layer. And this is another single layer. So now, if I highlight both of these, how many layers are how many layers are selected in the layers panel? Here's one. None of this is selected. And here's the second. So 2 and only 2 layers are selected. And notice what's available. Slice. So I can slice that right out of there like that and delete. So there's one way to make a monogram. Let's take this one and let's weld it. And I'm going to duplicate it again, maybe twice, just so I have a couple. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Images, and I'm going to search for an anchor so I can show you how I did that one. And you can choose any one of these anchors that you like. I think I chose this one, and insert. Okay, there is the anchor. So what I'm going to do now is choose one of these, and there's probably several ways to do this, but this is how I've done it, and it worked for me. So I came to Shapes and got a shape, a circle. I right-clicked on it and I sent it to the back because I want it behind the text. And I made it so it was just a little bit larger than the text, like that. Okay, perfect. And then what I did was I duplicated this circle. Okay, and once the circle was duplicated, I came over here to the anchor, and I clicked on the circle, held down my shift key and clicked on the anchor, and I came up here to align. I think it was, you always get confused, vertically. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to select the circle again, select the anchor, and I'm going to slice. I can get rid of this piece, and this piece, and this piece. And now I'm going to bring this back on top of the circle, grab both things, come up to Align, and Align Center. Okay, once again, it feels like it's a little too far over to the right to me, or left, so I rearranged it a little bit. And now 2 things are selected, and only 2, and I'm going to slice. Okay, get rid of that, and get rid of that. And then I can just move this circle down into place, making sure that it covers right here and here. And then I'll select everything and weld. Okay, and there is a really cool looking monogram. So let's say we want to do another image. Go to Images. I'll just choose an elephant. And let's see if I can find one that I like. Okay, I like the shape of this one, but I don't need all those flowers in there. But we know how to get rid of those. So I'll insert him. And there he is. Okay, so how do we get rid of those flowers? We simply come to Contour. And we start clicking on some of them. And as we do that, they will no longer cut. See what we have so far. Okay, that's perfect, because I think I'll put the monogram in a what do you call it, flower to go in here. So I'm going to come back to images and I'm going to type in flower, and I don't know which one I should choose. Let me go back to the top. I'll just choose this one and insert it. All right, so here we go. I'm not sure how this is going to work, so this is something new I'm trying. So I'm going to take this, the name, and stick it in the center. And I think I'll unlock it and stretch it down like that, so that parts of the letters are touching the top and the bottom. And of course I don't really have to if I cut this out of vinyl, but I think I'll leave it like that. And maybe weld this together. Okay, I'm playing this by ear, y'all. just playing around. This is the best way to learn. Then I'm going to take this, and I should change its color so I can see it. Bring it up here. And I probably wish I had another flower here or here, but I could remedy that later. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the elephant, hold down my shift key and click on the flower. Only 2 layers are selected over here, so I can slice. And just take that right out of there. And I think that's super cute. What I could do if I wanted to, like I said, if I wanted to get another flower or 2, I could. Or let's check out this one right here. I can just go ahead and contour out stuff. Wonder what happens when I hide all contours, almost everything. So let's go back to contour and see what's left. For some reason, it doesn't allow me to contour that out. So guess what I can do? I can come over here to a circle and grab one and bring it over here and resize it. Put it right there in the center and grab all of that stuff and weld it. And now that's just one circle, one piece. And maybe I want to put one up here. I think I'll duplicate it first. Bring one here. Change its color so I can see. Hold down my shift key and grab the elephant and go to slice. Get rid of those. I could have kept one to use. Change the color. Make it different size maybe. Right click on it. Send it to the front. And there we go. And then I'll click on the, hold down my shift key while that is selected. Click on the elephant and say slice. Okay, so you might be wondering, what is this going to look like? So if I change the color, imagine it's on a shirt, come down here to blank canvas, and then come up here to where it says color, click on that and change the color. So you could see if this was a shirt, it would be, all of this would be black, and then the shirt would show through in these other areas. Let's take that back to white. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to put on this bag, but it's going to be something when I'm ready, when it's cut out, I'm going to cut it out of pink flock, and when it's ready to iron on with my EasyPress, I'll show you how to do that, what temperature to use, and how many seconds each time. So, see you back here in a little bit. Okay, I have my EasyPress over here. It's on, and it's set to 320 degrees. For Levi's, I had to do it in 2 sections. So the first, I did the red first, and I did that for 10 seconds at 320 degrees. I let it get cold because flock is a cold peel. When I peeled that off, then I put the yellow ones on, and I did that for 320 degrees for 20 seconds. Then I let that get cold, and I peeled off the carrier sheet, and then for 5 more seconds I did it at 320 degrees. Now, each time I did it, I did make sure to use a Teflon sheet. And you can get these at your local quilt shop. That's where I got mine. If you can't find it locally, I can put a link down below for you at Amazon where you can get it. Okay, so here's Layla's. I think it's adorable. I really didn't think it was going to turn out as small as it did. I don't know why I didn't think so, but I still think it's super cute. And I think it'll look really nice on this bag with the pink. So I'm just going to place it on here. And since it's just one piece, I am just going to do it for the 20 seconds at 320 degrees. Here we go. And I'm going to give it some pressure. Okay, time is up. And again, since it's a cold peel, I'm going to wait for it to get cold. I can shove this thing that I iron on back and then bring this up front here where the mat is cold. You just kind of rub it around on this, and it helps it to get cool a little quicker when I find cold places to press it down. But notice nothing has happened to the inside of this. It's still perfectly fine. And this is just about cold. And I can do the peel. And I'll peel it off. And it turned out beautifully, as you can see. And it's the flock, which I really like to use. So just for added insurance, I just did go ahead and do Levi's for another 5 seconds. So I'll do this one as well. For another 5 seconds, just hit it. Okay, that's good. And I think it turned out beautifully. Nothing's wrong. Everything's perfect. There's her little initials. And when they go to the park, each child can be in charge of their own snack bag. And these bags are really cute. They're not that cheap, even though they're on clearance at the place where I bought them, but I think they're super cute. And a lot of times it's hard to find things that are blank on them. I could put some more on here if I wanted to really jazz it up. I think it's super cute just like it is. So, thank you for joining me. If you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up and tell your friends about it. I'm trying to get some more subscribers. It really helps me, the more subscribers to comment. It just keeps me excited and keeps me going. So again, thank you. Check out my links below. Join us on Facebook, Patreon. I do some things on Instagram as well. So again, thank you. Bye-bye.